Hello and welcome to this Draw Along with Dan edition. As of this recording, it is Friday. So we're going to have a little fun, and I'm going to do something a little different from my past videos, at least this far. I've had some requests, and I want to honor requests. I can't probably fulfill all requests or requests as full as some people might want. I'm trying to stay within a particular range of topics and things like that. But I'm actually going to draw a cartoon character that is popular that's not mine. And so we'll see how that goes. And then I've got a little extra bonus at the end. So I want you to stay tuned for that. And so today I'm going to draw by special request from Henry, Sonic the Hedgehog. So way out of my scope. I've not had much exposure to Sonic, although it will give me a chance to talk about something that I think is beneficial for all of us. So let's get sketching and drawing. And now I've usually had reference up in the corner for this, and because of copyright issues, I'm not sure if I can. I've seen other people do it, and I just don't want to poke the bear. So I'm going to forego the reference that you usually see, although I will be breaking things down into shapes. So if you want to follow along, you should be able to do that. And let me get my other screen adjusted. When I have reference, it really helps. It really messes things up because I need room to see the comments if they come in. So try to get this as best as I can going on here. All right, there we go. All right, back to my, and I think everyone can see me, see my drawing board. All right, so I've taken Sonic and I've got some reference for him over there, various headshots and a running shot. And then I have a pose from another cartoon character that has a really good running pose. And so I thought I'd try to mix things together. Sometime I'll have to show you how to do that because there is so much great reference out there just in TV and cartoons and stuff that you could give yourself drawing lessons if you knew how to piece things together. So I think there's a lot of great information that's out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sketch really loosely, then I'll tighten it up, and then we'll ink from the tightened up sketch. So this will be a 3-step process, a little longer today. And there's a thing called a line of action. And so that's what I'm drawing right here. I want more of the action line. Sonic has this little oval body, and I'm going to try to make it fit with this. He's got this big round head. And again, I'm just drawing really loose, trying to keep this full of action. And so we've got this little body there, not much of a neck at all. And then my reference has this arm coming up like this and then coming out, which is a little different from the way Sonic, at least the poses I see. And then this one goes down like that. So real nice action pose. And then down on the bottom, the legs on my reference go like this and then like that. And then they actually go like this, which I'd never see Sonic do. But hey, I'm drawing this, and so I want to do that. And my phone is ringing in the background. So the fun of live the live video here. So I'll try to keep talking over the top of this announcement from my phone in the background. But there's the foot is up there, and I draw the other foot. He's got these really big feet. And again, the reference shows that he doesn't have really much knees, so I'm taking some liberties here. Just drawing in general shapes what I see. He's got these big socks at the top. Something like that. Like I said, we'll take and tighten these things up. Now, Sonic has huge hands. something like that. And then kind of like the socks, he's got these big glove bases, I guess you would say. That's where the thumb is, and the rest of the fist. Bumps right there for the fingers. And then these two things are going to kind of run into each other. Have to see if we can make that work. Which one would be in front? They're both, well, yeah, they're both in back. No. Okay, the foot's in front because this is the foot on this side. All the stuff you got to figure out, right? And then he's got this thing that comes out. It looks like a shark's fin, but it's supposed to be the hedgehog fur type of thing. And there's actually another reason why I chose to do the hedgehog today, and that will be the little extra bonus that we do at the end here. It's a very, very special and touching reason. But before we get into any of that, I want to put a bit of a disclaimer, maybe, or an explanation for why I'm doing Sonic. And there's kind of a thing that Sonic is kind of closely related to, and that is a style of animation called anime. Now, I'm pretty sure that that Sonic is animated in Japan, and not that makes it wrong all by itself. Nothing wrong with that. Let's see, the mouth right there. I'm going to put this little. He seems to, in some of the reference, he has this like little mischievous grin. So we'll put that there. And so anyway, anime is a style of drawing and animation, and then something attached to it related to that is it's called manga, manga, and it's very popular. A lot of kids are watching it, and a lot of them are obsessed with it. I mean, it's like crazy addicted to it. And there's a warning that I want to give to parents, especially about the style that deals with adults and some of the subject matter that some of it deals with is let's just say it's very harmful, and there's subject matters that are being introduced to children that never should be, stuff that should not be for adults, you know what I mean. And this stuff is being used as kind of a gateway to get kids into that direction. So so be careful if your children are into manga especially, and look up the definition and find out what that is. But I don't have time to flesh that out fully in my video here. But it's just a tool that there's some very perverse things in that. It's more than just a style. It's a mentality. It's a vehicle to communicate and to hook and to. So, with all the other stuff going on in our culture, that's just one of them, and we need to be watching out for our children. The world is going after our children, and as Carl Kirby, the founder of the ministry that I work for, Reasons for Hope, says, and I heard him say it last night, the devil's after our children, and he's not playing fair. This is all out war, and stuff like cartoons are being used because, hey, it's it's something that the kids love. So sorry to have a hard message in the middle of all this, but um, Sonic is um, is produced in Japan, and Japan produces all the manga and stuff, and I'm not sure if you would call Sonic anime. Well, I suppose it's got an anime feel to it, so I guess that's why I'm bringing this up. Drawing um, this cute little guy. Mostly you see him in computer games, and he's got his little animated cartoon and stuff. And I really haven't watched it that much, so I'll put that disclaimer on it. Hopefully, Sonic stuff isn't into any of the bad stuff either. But I mean, you can't even watch Sesame Street these days without having some really bad stuff. So parents, please be careful. Research, watch out. Now there's an ear that's supposed to go in here someplace. Right. I don't want to make it the same line as that hair, that top of that hair there. So I'm going to pull that back. Okay, so there's the rough. How'd I do? I don't draw this character, so and the reference that I'm looking at looks quite a bit different from the drawing that I'm ending up with here. So this is what you might say original. So let's take this sketch and knock it back. And there we go. So one thing about Sonic that I guess I would like is that he runs fast, and my favorite cartoon character is the Flash. So I grew up watching the Flash and looking at comics and stuff. And so now I'm gonna let's do blue lines for this is the tightening up sketch. We're gonna make this a lot tighter. It'll almost look like a finished drawing. I'm gonna go so tight, but then we'll ink over the top of this, and that's the way that a lot of artwork is produced, with tight pencils, and then the inks go over the top of that. I've got the nose running into the fist there, but that's okay. I've been drawing actual animals. And so this is the first. I mean, I've got on my channel, I've got other characters and such that I've drawn. Like, let's see, I've done Curious George, a video with that. And let's see, Godzilla and King Kong, I did one of those. So just I want to keep it fun and hopefully innocent. As far as being safe for your kids, I don't want to join in the crowd of getting them to like things that really are harmful. Okay, that leg's a little, well, he's got it stretched way back, so he's running. Now you got to straighten out which leg is in front here because that's important. One thing that makes Sonic a challenge to add some action to is that, like I pointed out before, he doesn't have much neck. He doesn't have, there's no way to bend his body for the most part. It's just this little circle, a little oval. And so to get across that there's a line here, like I drew that line of action, I had to make his head go back and kind of you tilt his body sort of in that direction, and then you tilt the head the other way, and then that gives you that curve that I was looking for. All right, so he's got this little muzzle and then like a cheek area that goes like that. And it comes up, and then he's got that little shine on his nose, and then I guess that works. I know that there was an animated cartoon that came out with him in it, and he's primarily a video game character. But you got to watch out for what's going on in those video games too. I was going to say, if it's produced by the world, you really have to keep tabs on it, which you do. But if it's produced by anybody, you need to keep tabs on it. Let's see, how does that eye go? It's like this. There we go. Up like that. I'm trying to copy the reference, sort of. I want to, I'm drawing the head at different angles, and so I'm, like I said, trying to make something original, but stay faithful to the reference that I see. Although none of the reference, the faces that I'm looking at, are actually drawing this the same way. So I guess I'm a little more free to have my own interpretation. And then the ear. So Henry, I hope that this works for you. We'll have to see about your other requests. We'll see. But say hi to your mom and dad for me, will you? I used to work with Henry's mom at Answers in Genesis, and she has become quite the children's book illustrator and author. And I'm kind of wondering how she's doing right now with those projects. So there we go. Back foot. Ooh. This in art, there's a thing called tangents, and that's when something comes close to something else, like that. Like my hands are touching right there. They're together. They share that line between them, and that's a tangent. And in artwork, you don't want to do that. You want to have something overlap on purpose. And if something's kind of like that, it's kind of poor. It's a poor layout. It's poor design. And so here I've got this fin type of the hair thing running into the back of the foot, and that's not good design. So let's take the that line there, and I'm gonna get mixed up on my tools here. All right, so there's the foot, and then for that back shape, there we go. So you can see the corner of the foot does that. Those lines don't match up to that, so it makes the shapes clearer and not so confusing. And then we got to fit that other arm back there because everything else is so crowded. I think that's why they draw Sonic the way that they do, with his feet not so far up, because there's so many other big objects to fit in there. And so I've kind of gone against the rules, and maybe you found the reason why they draw it the way that they do, at least for most of the time. Gonna try to figure out, make that hand back there look like something, because you can only see part of it. So got those fingers for his fist back there, curling around. Most of it's hidden behind his foot. And then there's this foot right here. I've made it so you're looking kind of at the side of the sock. They tilt it in most of the drawings that I see, so I'm going a little more edge on. And then he's got this thing like that going. So anybody, oh, he's got a tail too. I gotta put that in there. There we go. So, and then there's another little hedgehog hair thing. My question to you is, how is this a hedgehog? Oh man, I don't even know this, if there's like a story behind Sonic. Did he get some nuclear material spilled on him or something? He get radiation, and then he mutated into this blue. I mean, think of like, I don't know, Mickey Mouse, Bugs Bunny, other cartoon characters, Scooby Doo, whatever. They all kind of resemble, well, Mickey Mouse real loosely, but they still kind of resemble the actual animal somewhat. And I'm kind of confused as to how Sonic is really a hedgehog. I'm thinking if I was part of the art department and they said, we want you to come up with this hedgehog character, and he's got to run real fast and such, which, again, hedgehogs don't run fast. They're not moving fast at all. So there's got to be a story behind this. Why Sonic does that. And if I submitted a design that looked like this, I just can imagine getting it shot down and laughed at. But somehow someone did, and they figured it out. All right, so there's our really tight sketch, and I think this. Oh, you know what? There's something I forgot. He's got like a little eyebrow thing that pokes up there. He's got one on the other side. And I think that's pretty close. So let's knock that back, and we're going to take that other undersketch out of there. And then we're going to ink over the top of this and make it nice and neat. And again, I'm not coloring this today, but if you're choosing to draw along, you can color it yourself. Henry. All right, and then a lot of the drawings that I see are relatively the line thickness is a lot the same, so I'm going to add my own little spin on that too. And let's start with the nose. We'll pizzazz up the lines a bit. So I don't want anyone looking at this and going, oh, I see which one you copied. In fact, I would challenge you, try and find the reference that I'm using. You won't be able to identify it with the drawing that I'm doing. All right. You know what? I'm going to do that one line again. There's a difference I see in my reference that I need to make, and it's right at the end of this. Right there. Okay, so that line kind of comes up. It's not so, it's a pointy nose, but it's not as pointy as I had made it. And then this line right here, His smile. There we go. Draw that so it comes up a bit more. When I was a kid, another art story here, but I used to trace, and I would trace Peanuts characters, Snoopy and Charlie Brown and all those guys. And I did that for a while. It wasn't something that I kept on doing, but it really helped. I learned some how to draw from doing that, and then following the lines and just drawing characters that were above my art skill level moved my skill level up closer to what the artist that I was tracing was. So I think tracing is, and I've talked about this before, tracing is often looked at as cheating, and it can be. You don't get me wrong. I mean, it's used for that purpose, but there's a definite genuine use, a legitimate use for tracing. So we've got some young artists out there and parents that want to help them to get excited about drawing and learn how to draw. And I'm going to make videos about this type of thing in the future, so watch for them. That eye in the back is not working for me. I want to make a video about getting a light box or different ways that you can trace in your house or do tracing, and use that for learning purposes. Tracing actually has use in professional artwork too. I've been tracing here. I did my sketch and then I traced over the top of it to improve it, and then I'm inking over my previous sketch to and I'm tracing that. So there's definitely a skill to tracing. And my challenge would be here if someone said, yeah, tracing, it all ends up the same. Doesn't matter if you're an artist or not. My challenge would be, okay, well, let's have a trace off and we could trace the same thing and then put them side by side afterwards and see about the skill level, because you'll see it in the end result. The line quality and the smoothness of the line. There's definitely a dexterity that develops after years of doing this. So he's got a smooth chest. And then part of the trick too is, for me anyway, in doing this, is to again know what to alter and then what to keep pretty much the same, as I'm sort of drawing my own version of Sonic the Hedgehog. One thing that I really wish, and I've looked into this, is that there were, you know what, that's a little too far up on his foot. I gotta draw that back further. There we go. I wish there were more Christian cartoon characters that were well known, because I would do more of this type of thing for a Christian audience. And there just aren't that many. I mean, write some in the comments below. What Christian characters would you like to see me do this to? Draw my own version of them. I'd be curious to know what you would write, what you would suggest. And then we got the tail. With that fin, I call it a fin, but it's just more fur like he has on his head. And the arm in the back. Oh wow, we're already up to a half hour. Yeah, this one took a while. Again, I'm doing these on my lunch break, so this is during my Reasons for Hope work day. So check out some of my artwork on the Reasons for Hope social media places. There's Instagram and Facebook. I have a Truth Jabs cartoon, and I also draw a feature called Draw It and Know It. So look up Dan Lietha, Draw It for Know It, and you can find more of my artwork. Yeah, this didn't work for me at all right here, so let's fix that. Even artists use erasers. Even professional artists use erasers. Yeah, that's better. Okay. All right, so I think that's looking over my reference there. I suppose you could do this on a different layer just in case I don't like it. You could add like some zoom lines. If I can get these straight like that. And then I like to do the wiggle lines too. Add some action. Oops, I don't like to make them touch. But there he is, Sonic the Hedgehog. So Henry, I hope you're happy. I hope that does it for you. That was that faithful to the character? Did I do okay? Let me know. So that's part one. Part two is going to be is shorter, but this is from the heart. All right, I have another picture of a hedgehog that I'm going to bring up. Again, I can't put this on the screen, but we'll do this fast. And this is the rough sketch. And then it goes like this. Very cartoony. And then these guys have this funny little coating of hedgehog prickles, you could call them. So I'm going to draw in some guidelines here. And then these actually continue up here. So most of the most of the detail in this little critter. I'm just doing this for direction reference. You got these little dark beady eyes. All right, so that's tight enough. This is the cute little cartoon. My niece, Brianna, had a little hedgehog named Chestnut. And sadly, Chestnut is no longer with us. And so Brianna's obviously sad about that. And so I thought, I'm drawing a hedgehog today. My friend Henry had suggested a hedgehog, so I think there's room to make a little drawing kind of in memory of Chestnut. I guess that's one of the benefits you have when you have an uncle that's a cartoonist, right? And I saw Chestnut not so long ago. He's a cute little guy. But we do live in a fallen world, and sad things happen like that. So inking in this little version of Chestnut. And some of the poses that these little guys do are really funny. They curl around. And this drawing really is not that planned, so I hope it turns out okay. It's just kind of off the cuff. And anybody out there have a hedgehog pet? Write that in the comments. And they've got a little it's white fur here, and then it's like these almost like quill type things going on here. It's one of those things that I don't want to draw all the quills, but you draw enough to give like an indication of this is what's going on in this area. So there he is, little Chestnut. All right. And then I didn't sign my other drawing, but I'll sign this one. Dan Lietha .com. So you guys got a bonus today, a little longer drawing session, but a couple hedgehogs and some things to think about too, some serious things about what we watch. And then, Chestnut helps us remember that we live in a fallen world and sad things happen, but we have a God that's in control and in charge, and there's a whole lot about that I could talk about. Let's look at some of my other videos, and we talk about some good things that come out of sad things too. So, but we serve a God that loves us, that sent His Son to die for us, and I pray that each one of us accepts His free gift of salvation. So, all right, this is Dan Lietha. Thanks for drawing along with me today, and have a great weekend. Bye. Oh, I didn't. Oh, man. Boom.